Now you're talking about development. Do you think that in today's world, that seeing all the development with racing, that it's making everything a lot safer than it was when you first started racing here in the 50s?
Oh, there's no question. And of course, you know, in the early days in the Formula One races, when I was involved in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and that, we had a lot of fatalities happen in that, and it was kind of given that that would happen. At Indianapolis had the same thing. Today, a serious accident is not unusual, but a serious injury is. And they're not stopping at what they do today. We have safer walls on the ovals. We have gravel traps here. We have different things. We have driver equipment today, the Hans device that people are using. We know that we've saved probably throughout the world now where it's almost mandatory. Just with the Hans device, we probably have saved 40, 50 lives a year from people that had head injuries before. With the helmets of today, the fire suits they wear, and with the emergency equipment and training of the people staff these races today, it's gotten much, much safer.
And Bertie, if there's one thing you could tell the racers out there today, one piece of advice that you've learned throughout the years, what would it be?
Well, I don't want to tell anybody how to drive their race car because maybe I could still take a lot of lessons in that. But I guess I would say to enjoy what you're doing today, and don't let those memories slip away because they're wonderful. And of course, use your head, you know.
Bertie Martin, Grand Marshal for the 54th running of the June Sprints here at Road America. I'm Jeremy Scott with GoRacingTV.com.
Group 2, the second race of Saturday, featured the single-seat, open-wheel, pure racing machines of Formula V and Formula 500. With the Formula 500s with the top-end speed. Jason Newsom qualifying on the pole out of Danville, Indiana in the Scorpion. Mike Brent from Bethel, Connecticut in the Invader. And Bob Geeson in a Red Devil. Rounded out the top three in Formula 500. In Formula V, Michael Verisens threw the gauntlet down early out of Burlington, Wisconsin, qualifying a full 2 seconds quicker than his closest competitor. But you could see a race shaping up for second between the family of Chris Jernigan and his son Brian Jernigan, as 1/10 of a second separated those two cars in the top three. The lights are off in the pace car, indicating the car will be coming into the pits. This time around, we'll get a green flag. Pace lap underway as they come through 14, get ready to start with some very close racing. Smoothness and drafting, a big part of this entire race, and it's showing already as they come out from under the bridge. Hid for turn one, the Formula 5 setting the pace. Formula V's a little further back, already jockeying for position. We get some great shots from Mike Bymaster in the in-car camera. As they come through one, the Formula 5 stay together in a good pack, a lot of them jockeying for position as they go down to one of the fastest portions of the track, out of 2 down to 5, and then it's hard braking down to about 50 miles an hour through a left-hander at turn 5. Carrying the speed into turn 3, there's a good 15 cars in a single draft with a shot at taking the lead by lap 10. We're working 1 with big 9 laps to go. Then a break in the action as the Formula V's close up. Verisens is not pulled away at this point. Mike Bymaster with the in-car camera getting a great shot of a drafting move down towards the Sargento's Bridge. As they come into 5, everybody gets on the binders. This is where you'll see some changes on the inside move by 2 of those Formula 5s. And they pull it off. But getting the break there is Jason Knutson, who pulls away from the field as quite a few cars scrubbed off a little bit too much speed as they came out of 5. Position changes continue to happen throughout this race. A lot of drafting, good competition throughout. Formula V's in that classic train. the only dead heat in the June sprints. In fact, the only dead heat we know of in the history of Road America happened in the Formula V class many years ago. On lap 1, Brad Stout gets a good draft on Chris Jennerjohn and breaks that pair up with Brian in the lead, Stout running behind him, and then Jennerjohn fourth, with Barrison still leading the entire class. Out of 10, I get a good look at just the type of speed that these cars are carrying. Giesen makes a nice inside move on Knudsen to take over the lead. Get a pretty good idea of the incline going up that hill out of 14 to the start-finish line. When you watch these cars climb that hill, it must, to those little cars, look like Mount Everest. Lap 1 about to go in the books. Barrison started to make a race of it with some of the backmarker F5s, while that second place race between Stout and the Jennerjohns continues. It's a 3-car draft for Formula V. Barrison holds on to that 2-second lead. With a look at that nose-to-tail battle, Formula V Classic.
Lap 2 as we're heading back towards the Toyota Bridge.
Into 8, Giesen leads Knudsen. But keep an eye on car 84, Jeff Jorgensen, currently running 5th, but moving up through the field. Giesen still in the lead, but Knudsen all over him as they go through 14, and 3rd through 5th is extremely tight as well. Some great drafting out of 14. Matched cars. Stout looks in his rearview mirror and he's got a family on his tail. As we have a car off on lap 3, just before the Toyota Bridge. Fortunately, it's a local yellow and the race continues. Further back in the pack in Formula V, it's getting a little raw, and I think we'll start seeing some areas pretty soon. They'll break smoke coming out into 5. A huge pack of Formula Vs, a little further off the podium, but a great battle. A Formula 500 competitor takes a big slide off the track. It's Mike Bymaster with his in-car camera, comes swinging by and gets a great shot of it. The dust hadn't even settled yet. That battle for second, Stout retakes the lead in that second place battle with the Jennerjohns right behind him. The car on lap 5 going way off the left. Oh, I don't want to get in that gravel. Gravel, go away. When you see gravel in front of you, turn right.